To be back here, my orthodox belief in my corner as well. So I'm very blessed to be back here. Life has been good. Life has been simple.
It's a big difference with how George Kambosos has been acting, in the build-up to this fight, to the first one. I didn't know until it was pointed out at the press conference yesterday that George Kambosos fired his whole team. Hey, let's go recap that. Let's go recap that real quick before the weigh-in starts. The weigh-in for Haney versus Kambosos 2 from the Rod Laver Arena over in Melbourne, Australia. That's going to be starting in about a few minutes or so. That card is going to be a regular primetime ESPN card tomorrow, starting at 10 p.m. Eastern over on regular ESPN. Devin Haney, undisputed champion. Very, very busy day in boxing tomorrow. Other Australian boxing is going to be Liam Parrow versus Brock Jarvis. That weigh-in. No, that fight is starting actually soon. Not soon, but in about 6 hours or so. But yeah, let's go recap this weigh-in first, Not this weigh-in, this press conference from yesterday.
There's no doubt about that, the Kambosos camp. Are you concerned?
I mean, they've been quiet, but every time they open their mouth, it's a different excuse. So, they talk this quiet stuff, but they keep making up excuses. Now it's the coach, then it was the referee because I was holding. Every excuse in the book, but why did you fire your whole team if that was the case? If truly you feel like I was holding too much, why would you fire your whole team? I mean, ain't nothing to be whispering. All my words is loud. I speak it, for the world to hear. So ain't nothing to whisper. At the end of the day, we'll see on the 16th who's a better fighter, and I will show once again that I am.
Dev gave me one job today, right? We're on weight. He told me to go out and get this for George. It's the art of war. So if you can hand it to him over there.
Sure.
Because we want him to be well prepared and not misinformed. So well, that's fine, right? But what excuse is he going to have on the 16th?
What do you say to that?
Well, look, there's no excuses. Whatever they're saying, that's no problem. Whatever they've done in their preparation, whatever is on their mind, that's okay. We're zoned in on one thing, like I said. Everything is perfect on our side, and I'm looking forward to a great fight. That's all I'm focused on. I'm not focused on anything else. If they want to.
Okay, here's the details. Haney Kambosos 2 will be broadcast live on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Plus Saturday from the Rod Laver Arena in Melbourne, Australia at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Pacific. The prelims on ESPN Plus starting at 8 p.m. Eastern. Wilder versus Helenius card starts at 9 p.m. Eastern for $74.99 on pay-per-view. Clarissa Shields versus Savannah Marshall, Michaela Mayer, Alicia Baumgartner earlier in the day, also on ESPN Plus. And then very early in the day, at about 5 a.m. Eastern or so, you're going to have from Australia as well, Liam Parrow taking on Brock Jarvis. So it's going to be busy. It's going to be busy. But what? Oh, they're about to start. The weigh-in's about to start. But I guess the question is, what can George Kambosos do differently? He's got to go out on his shield. He can't go out there trying to box Devin Haney. We're going to know about round 3 or so, where he's going to be at. By the way, Big J is going to be calling in after the weigh-in, and we're going to get him on to get his fight week thoughts. Let me message him now. He also got some interviews I got to get up in the morning. Hold on. Because he's going for George Kambosos. But me personally, I'm going for Devin Haney. I just want to see, the intrigue is, let's turn it up. What can Kambosos do differently? That's the intrigue of the fight.
We saw what happened 4 months ago when George Kambosos arrived at the venue only to not make weight the first time around.
That really surprised me with George Kambosos, because that is quite unprofessional. Like you'd think you'd be on the weight. He's saying he's on the weight this time. He made it last time, thank God. But let's hope he doesn't have to come in over the weight this time.
There was quite a moment off the back of that. Devin Haney, who was straight into George Kambosos, quite obviously having not made weight. Now, Kambosos consequently made weight inside the 2-hour window that he's allowed if you do fail to make weight the first time around. He did that very comfortably in the end. But this is quite a surprise because Devin Haney, they've been very thorough, very professional, as you would expect, as the undisputed lightweight champion of the world. It'll be fascinating to see what happens this morning. If either of them get a surprise, then we'll be in for more drama here at Rod Laver. It's quite the surprise that they are not in the house as we speak.
Yes, it sort of surprises me. Perhaps they're going to blame Melbourne traffic.
That guy with the gray hair in the back, kind of like right here. This guy, that's the father. But the guy right here in the back, right in back of George, that's Peter Kahn. That's the guy who fired him. I mean, who George Kambosos has fired allegedly, according to Devin Haney. He used to also run Triller boxing. He quit. Like he's,
It did happen to me once, but it's pretty rare that at this level it shouldn't happen.
We'll wait and see what happens when they fight.
There
He's
we
going
go.
to try and bring that fire to this fight with Devin Haney. There's no question about that. I think the world knows that. Devin Haney says if he does that, it plays into his hands even more.
I think I agree with Devin Haney. As I've said before, when you're boxing a counterpuncher, a guy that jabs and moves and throws flurries off, you're making you lead. You're just going to get picked off. If he does the same thing, if he tries to walk up to him and pressure him rather than draw his lead, he'll just get picked off again. So I agree with Haney. If he makes that sort of war, just walking up, throwing punches indiscriminately, he'll be picked off. So what he needs to do is to draw Haney.
It's such a smaller event than the first fight. Like, look, even the media turnout there is just not,
George fight that sort of fight. It's a big if.
George really shit the bed the first fight. Like, it was such a disappointing performance, man.
Press conference yesterday, I asked him about his defensive capabilities and said, are you one of the best, if not the best, defensive boxer?
Like, he's really got to turn up. Like, we're going to know by round 3, like, where he's at. Like, ain't nobody trying to see him go out there and box. He's got to go out there, and even his promoter said it. He's got to throw caution to the
He
wind.
might be one of the best we've ever seen.
Yeah, look, that's a really good point because he is a brilliant. He's got
gotta
beautiful
throw caution
hand
to the
speed.
wind.
His defense is impeccable, and yeah, there is certainly shades of Floyd Mayweather in Devin Haney. And for me, I commentated Floyd Mayweather in the '96 Atlanta Olympics, and I declared he was the best. It was the last fight he ever lost. I declared he was the greatest fighter I saw there, and he's gone on to prove it. Now, this guy, if he makes a statement today, perhaps he'll be on his way to being called another Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Could well be. Quite the scene yesterday with the Haney camp.
That's some strong praise from Barry Michael.
In the build-up to fight number 1, George Kambosos there and his father Jim Kambosos having nothing to say at all, just listening to the quite verbose Bill Haney there, who had a lot to say, produced The Art of War by Sun Tzu and offered that to the Kambosos camp in the press conference as well. So what a massive turnaround and a change. They've had a change of trainer, Chris Backus, who looked after George Kambosos for much of his career before linking with Javier Centel. Javier Centel is no longer part of the camp, his trainer. Likewise, a change in management as well. We'll see if it works for George Kambosos tomorrow.
As I said, it's going to go one way or the other. It could be beneficial. It might be negative. So I reckon we'll know after the first 2 rounds the pattern of the fight.
Well, I can see some blue hoodies there. Looks like Team Kambosos with their G'd up sponsorship, newly acquired for...
Here, let's talk for a minute. So here is the card. The main card. Let's talk for a little minute here. Let's go. Right screen. There we go. So you got Tanika Johnson taking on Susie Ramadan. Andrew Maloney taking on Norberto Jimenez. Jason Maloney taking on Nawafon Kaikanha. And Haney versus Kambosos. Now, all 4 of those fights have meaning. Tanika versus Susie is for a title. Andrew and Jimenez is a eliminator. Jason Maloney and Kaikanha, that is to be for the mandatory for the winner of Naoya Inoue versus Paul Butler, which is taking place December, is it the 3rd or the 10th? Or the 17th, one of those dates. It's actually down below in the description box. Here, I'll check real quick. I updated the boxing schedule for the mainstream boxing events down in the description box. Nope, I haven't put it up there yet. But it's supposed to be an announcement of it being official soon. But let's turn it up, see where they at.
It's not going to be the same order here today in the weigh-in as we're going to have here tomorrow. So let's just bear with it and get on through these weights. Please make some noise for your favorite fighters as they come on up. First fight here, we're going to weigh in at 6'3" at cruiserweight. It's brought to you by Tab.
Is he an American? He's an American. I would move to Australia. Nah, then again, they got like really, really bad like Wi-Fi. I got to turn this music down. You know where I do want to move, though? I would move to the Netherlands. Like, if I'm being honest. One day, probably when I'm about, I'm going to say, you know, maybe 55, 60. Around that age, I'm going to move, like, somewhere into the woods. I had to mute this music. Sometimes at Australian boxing events, they have human auctions. No bullshit. Can't do that in America these days.
Tomorrow during the event.
I'm not even kidding you. You think I'm like kidding?
196.98, that is in pounds for TT Motusaga.
Oh, I'm so glad they're doing it in pounds. That's what's up.
3-minute round.
And he will be fighting Hamilton's best. This is really the fight of the Kiwis here, ladies and gentlemen. He's a two-time gold medalist in the Commonwealth Games and a bronze in the 2020 Summer Olympics. Would you please put your hands together for David Naika.
A glittering amateur career, of course, a two-time Commonwealth Games medalist, trained by Noel Thornbury out of the Gold Coast, and has spent time as a sparring partner with former world heavyweight champion Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King, no less.
I don't trust this music. 4-0 with 3 KOs. I don't trust that music. I'm sorry, I gotta mute that. That has copyright written all over it. 199. That's big 199.
And David, if you could, gentlemen, in front of the scales there.
Brought to you by Tab, our promotional, our betting partners in this huge event here tomorrow.
Yo, dude looked like a long-haired, fucking shorter Joe Parker.
One of the big fights we'll see on the 9-fight card right here at Rod Laver Arena tomorrow. That is David Naika.
Did you guys hear that PBC on Showtime may be cooked? Showtime may be going away as a network and merging with Paramount Plus. Wild, but believable.
Would you please welcome to the stage, this is Fega Opalu.
Inga Django Opalu is a former Australian heavyweight champion, having taken that belt in a victory.
What happened to all the fans? Damn. The first fight, like the atmosphere is just so different. Like so, you know, docile. Jeez, George. He better go out there and fight tomorrow for real. Like, ain't nobody trying to listen. I'm going to be so pissed. I'm hoping that this main event and Wilder Helenius don't overlap. Because I want to be able to stream during both of them. I'm going to be busy as hell tomorrow. Like, I'm going to do a little bit of video editing tonight. Go to sleep, and I'm going to wake up like 5. I already got my food prepped and everything. We had a very productive 2 days. So we're going to be here covering the shit out of boxing tomorrow.
0.87 for Django Opalu.
Got all my food prepped, cut the grass, getting my house redone, talk to my lawyer. We doing some big motherfucking things.
Fighting another Kiwi here, 19-0. I do believe he is an undefeated professional fighter. He's out of that CKB boxing, that gym that took over the UFC.
Yeah, a lot of
So
cruiserweights.
he's boxing out of them. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Hemi, the Heat Ahio.
Now, this guy's supposed to be a big deal. But let's see.
Alongside Israel Adesanya, the UFC star, among plenty of others.
You can tell he's been in some brawls.
Haney Kambosos build up in June as well. The first round stoppage against Christian.
That music, man, it's killing me. My bad if I keep muting it. The music can be copyright, so don't want to take no chances.
This is Hemi Ahio.
Hemi Ahia. But yeah, that's a nice, you know, I mean, it all depends on who you're knocking out too. Let me pull him up real quick. 19-0, 14 KOs. Let's see. You can just go look and see, like, yep, look, 18-24, 18-21, a 3-19. Yeah. But some fighters just have that look, like he looked like he got punching power. Some people just look like, no matter what they body type, that they hit hard. But also, a dude look like they just pulled these blokes off the street and said, hey, you guys want to fight this weekend, mates? And they're like, yeah, we'll give it a go. It's like, look, they both just look, they just came off the street.
Once again, brought to you by Tabella Entertainment.
Like they put in a shift before the weigh-in.
Fight on the fight card tomorrow.
Oh.
For 8 rounds. It probably doesn't go.
Yeah, from what I'm hearing, Showtime might keep their channel, but it is up in the air right now. And Showtime's content is already on Paramount Plus. Like, if you have Paramount Plus, you can watch the recent Showtime boxing events.
All right, and as Lou DiBella had talked about yesterday, the Victorian government really wanted to step up and support a women's fight. This female fight is...
But yeah, one day, I'm going to cash out and move somewhere. I don't know where, though. Somewhere abroad, live in peace. Just let me have my TV so I can watch my boxing. You can put me in the fucking woods for all I care. In the mountains.
Introducing first, you'll be fighting out of the blue corner of the night. Here is Susie Ramadan.
No, but there are some stories that you can look up that Showtime, Paramount may scrap Showtime altogether. And they may be leaving one major cable distributor here in the States. I hope it's not mine. I have Verizon. But I only watch boxing on Showtime. You know, I mean, I watch the show Yellow Jackets, but I don't really watch like Billions. All right, let's go to the weigh-in.
Tomorrow.
Let's go full screen.
$119.38 for Susie Ramadan.
By the way, Susie Ramadan has been on the channel multiple times. We have an interview from her and Big J on the channel. Damn, she is tiny.
Well, after having so many fights, I think the nerves are pretty good, you know, just ready to go.
We spoke about sparring, Tanika, in the past. It's going to be fascinating to see what happens down the track now at the back end of your career.
Yeah, she said 4 years ago, which was a bit of a lie. I mean, last time I sparred her was 2020. We asked her for sparring 2 months ago, but she declined. So, you know, but it's going to be exciting tomorrow night, that's for sure. Tomorrow day, sorry, that's for sure.
There is no question. You get to do it for real right here at Rolave Arena. Susie Ramadan in action.
I ain't getting no fucking jab. They was trying to jab me to death last year. Everybody was like, you should get, you know, the vaccine. And, bro, like, I'm not getting no needle. No way. That ship is sailed. I don't think HBO Boxing makes a return, no. They got, like, issues of their own. But they've been cutting shows and everything. Boxing just needs a cleansing anyway. Especially American boxing. You know, the market is all fucked up. Oh, okay, Shanika. All right, I see you. Damn, look at those abs. Was is she always in this? Is she always in this shape? Like, she is ripped.
121.03 pounds for Tanika Johnson.
Both fighters comfortably under the 122-pound limits.
Like, she's in shape. Triller's doing that Manny Pacquiao fight, but Triller's kind of done. You know, the concerts, like concerts and music. I watched that last card with Kovalev and Pulev on it.
Very good, thank you. It's going to be a rip of a fight, and I'm excited to be on this card and, you know, showcase women's boxing.
This is a massive chance to get this opportunity to fight for a world title on such a high-profile occasion, isn't it?
Very, and it's exciting to see women's boxing grow, and, you know, I'm excited to showcase my skills and defend my title.
You certainly have plenty of skills. Can't wait to see those tomorrow. That's Tanika Johnson taking on Susie Ramadan for that world title here at Rod Laver Arena. Ladies, we'll face you off at the front of the scales here.
Big size difference.
So many tremendous Australian.
I'm looking forward to this fight, though.
Action around the world in recent times, and this will be an absolute beauty here tomorrow as part of our big 9-fight card as we build it up to Devin Haney and the rematch with George Kambosos Jr. That's Tanika Johnson, the defending champion, taking on Susie Ramadan.
Yeah,
and once
you
again,
know.
special thanks goes out to the Victoria government for that one. Coming up next here, ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 10 3-minute rounds. Professional World Championship Junior Bantamweight boxing action. It is for the vacant IBF Junior Bantamweight World title. Introducing first, making his way to the scales, this is Norberto Jimenez.
Wait, this is a vacant title?
From the Dominican Republic, Norberto is ranked.
I think that was what he was telling him, that it's not for a title. Let me check real quick, see what the hell's going on here.
National Junior Bantamweight title on
pull up
the
the
line
rankings.
in this fight. He's fought twice the world titles. Has lost just the once in the
By the way, randomly, covering a random ass fight, I covered Norberto Jimenez
We got Danny Lee here from the WBO.
versus Donnie Nietes last December. Like, weird card I was covering. You know, sometimes I'll just cover like some weird, bizarre ass cards that nobody gives a fuck about. But
114.97 pounds for Norberto Jimenez.
he was on his way to beating Donnie Nietes, but it was a 10-round fight. He thought it was a 12-round fight.
Norberto, you're looking in tremendous physical shape. How confident are you of taking a victory tomorrow?
Primeramente, gracias a Dios por todo. Me preparé para llevarme la victoria y vine a derrotar a Andrews Moloney en su propia casa.
He says, first of all, thanks to God for everything He's given me, and I prepared very, very well to come beat Andrew Moloney at his home house.
We will see how it pans out. We'll meet your challenger in a moment. That is Norberto Jimenez here to take on Andrew Moloney.
And that will bring him to the scale next, ladies and gentlemen. He is constantly fighting on these gigantic shows here in Australia. Give it up for the one and only Andrew Moloney.
Greetings from Peru.
4 months ago, this man put on a spectacular.
They just walking around barefoot out that motherfucker. What's going on with this? I've never seen him just come to the stage just barefoot and just ready. No shoes, no nothing.
Away from getting another shot at a world title.
One thing for sure, though, Top Rank has been pushing these Maloneys. You can't say that they ain't been getting their shape. They've been getting their fair shake.
Andrew Moloney makes weight and is good to go for his bout tomorrow. Such an important one in his career.
You know, there's also the chance that ESPN as a whole could swallow up boxing.
We're going to have a quick chat, mate, after you have a drink. Great to see you.
I miss HBO boxing. They didn't fuck around. All right, let me shut up. Stop being rude.
Nah, never trouble. I'm a true professional. I'm never out of camp. Always ready. That's our statement. Team Maloney always ready. And I'm going to earn myself a shot at the world title after this fight. I'm going to grab that and bring it back here to Australia.
You put on an amazing show last time around. Can we see something
Australia,
similar
mate.
tomorrow?
Absolutely. The plan is to steal the show. Make sure you don't miss it.
That is Andrew the Monster Maloney taking on Norberto Jimenez for that vacant IBO international title. We will face you fellas off. Norberto, if you could, and also Andrew at the front of stage.
HBO Boxing didn't play around, man.
Another fight to circle here on the events tomorrow.
And now you got Floyd Mayweather
Partners tab.
fighting a YouTuber on the zone. Like, fucking hell is freezing over. Like, shit is bad out here, man. But boxing is so frustrating, yo.
See you tomorrow. Or not.
Like all these pay-per-views. Okay, Andrew, I see you.
Andrew Maloney
showing
and
a bravado.
Norberto Jimenez. We'll see a bit more of that intensity in the ring, no doubt, tomorrow. Lieutenant Dan.
Well, I think we need a little bit more Maloney, so let's give it. It's 12 3-minute rounds of professional bantamweight boxing action. It is a WBC World Title Eliminator. It's brought to you by TAB, ladies and gentlemen. This is now.
You know what I was thinking? Oh, I did say his name right. Navafan Kaikanha. I just had to say it slow. Now, these Thai guys, normally, they get busted up. Unlike, Sursaket Rungvisai, he was the exception. But a lot of times, these Thai guys, they even come to the States. Remember, Josh Taylor busted one up. Rigondeaux busted one up. I'm trying to think about who else. Like, they be getting busted up. So they adopt, like, the gym name. It's not, God knows what this guy's name is. So, no, that's not the Rat King. Sursaket Rungvisai, they're not related, I don't think. And they really do eat rats over there and, like, be enjoying that shit.
117.39 for Navafan Kaikanha.
You know what I would eat, though? I was watching something, a show called Strange Foods. And I would eat kangaroo meat. I want to try moose, too. You can't order moose, though. You got to, like, have it fresh.
Your knockout record is so impressive, but as we said yesterday, this is the first time you fought outside of your home country. What are you expecting fighting in a hostile environment for the first time?
So I'm very excited. I've never been in this environment before. Very excited.
Can't wait to see him in action up against Jason Maloney, who is
but not no rat
on the scales. That is Navafan Saw Rungvisai.
Kangaroo from the Roten family?
Maloney twins, ladies and gentlemen, again, always on the big shows here in Australia.
I didn't know that.
Together here is Jason Mayhem Maloney.
That is crazy. I guess Kangaroo's not from the rodent family, is it? Is it the biggest rodent in the world? I gotta check. I want to research that. Look, they just walking up in this motherfucker barefoot. Maybe they can't wear like shoes on the floor on that area or something. I don't know. Like, that doesn't make sense.
Third time lucky for Jason Maloney in what is a world title eliminator.
Yeah, I would imagine that like kangaroo is in like the deer family, like around there, like antelope and shit. Despite the tail, I guess that would make people think it's in the rodent family.
117.83 for Jason Maloney.
Jason Maloney makes weight comfortably also. And in the prime of his boxing career, ready to face highly ranked opponent. They are number 1 and number 2.
But yeah, I'm interested, man. This Thai guy, you never know with them. It's hit or miss. They may come over here and crack, you know, or they may just come over here and just like get beat the fuck up. And this is the monster, Maloney.
Ready to go, mate. This is it. The final hurdle before I become world champion. I'm ready to go.
This is essentially for a world title, given that Noya anyway is likely to step out of the division and move up in the rankings. So this could well be for what will become a world title.
100%, and that's how I've prepared for the hardest fight of my life, and I've left no stone unturned, and this will be a great performance tomorrow.
Big show for the Melbourne fans.
You bet it.
Jason Maloney taking on Alfonso Rungvisor. You'll see Mayhem Maloney in action tomorrow, gentlemen. If we could face you off for the cameras.
Let's go full screen, see what the size advantage is. Kaikanha looks like he has a bigger frame. How old is he? Let me check real quick. Yeah, this is the power Maloney right here. 24-2 with 19 KOs. The monster. No, Mayhem. The other one is Monster? I thought this one was Monster. But Mr. Kaikanha, he is listed at 31 years old. Now look at his resume. Let me see if we can do it this way. Oh, no, he's already looking away. But look at his resume. 56, 1-1 with 46 KOs. But look at this. Y'all see this bullshit on here? 0-1, debut, 5-5, 10-10, 0-2. You know? Damn, there's 60 fights. He's been out there beating up nobody.
Belts going on the line tomorrow. Lieutenant Dan, the introductions are all yours.
All right, here we go. It's 12 3-minute rounds of professional world championship lightweight boxing action. It is for the WBC, WBO, and IBF world lightweight titles and the WBA super world lightweight titles collectively. This is the unified lightweight championship of the world. It is brought to you by the Victorian government. Once again, they step up. Thanks so much again to the Victorian government. Introducing first, the challenger. This is George Ferocious Cambosos Jr.
Is he going to be barefoot?
The man who proved the critics wrong when he took down Theophilus.
Let me turn that music down. I like this all business George Cambosos, though. Because he did seem like he was getting a little full of himself. Sometimes you got to humble up to be better. You know, you got to be broken down to build back up, you know? But I'm just intrigued on what he's going to try to do. He's got to be the pressure fighter. You know, show us that chin. You know, go in there and, you know, you got to get past that jab, bro. Oh, but first, let's see if this motherfucker make weight. How about that? All right, let's get on. Let's see what we got here. This is where it all begins. Plus, I don't feel like restreaming again. That was like 2 hours, wasn't it? That was like 2 hours.
.04 for Kambosos.
Oh, okay.
Jr.
All right. All right, that's okay. 134? Whole pound under? That's impressive. That's impressive. That's impressive. That's very impressive. But still, what's the game plan going to be? You know, how does he win? He's got to be the pressure fighter. Is he going to be able to outwork Devin Haney? Is he going to be able to knock him out? You know, how's he going to do it? That's the question. That's the question. Remember, George Kambosos has 10 KOs.
It was never in doubt. No drama this time with the weigh-in.
No doubt. We put in the work, and that's a statement right there. We'll make a statement tomorrow.
You have been quiet, no doubt. The camp has been quiet in the build-up to this fight, but I get the impression you are ready for something special here at Rod Laver Arena tomorrow.
Mate, I'm ripped and ready. You know, I haven't shown too much in this camp, but we're going to show it all tomorrow. We are ready, and whatever he brings ain't enough.
You do know what Devin Haney brings to the table. That's a tremendous defensive technique. How do you break it down?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see tomorrow what he does and what I bring. The world will see.
He is ready, George Kambosos Jr., weighing in under 135 pounds.
Very humble this time around.
All right, and his opponent, ladies and gentlemen, he is the unified lightweight champion of the world. This is Devin the Dream Haney.
That damn music. That damn music. Gotta mute that, guys.
Originally from Oakland, California, now fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada. At 23 years of age, Devin Haney is 28-0 and unified the lightweight division with his unanimous decision on June 5, just up the road here in Melbourne at Marvel Stadium. Trained by his father and manager Bill Haney.
.81 for the champion, Devin Haney.
We have a match. Devin Haney makes weight. George Kambosos makes weight.
No, I'm not going to show the fights tomorrow. That's called copyright infringement, ladies and gentlemen. That will get my channel shut down and me possibly sued. So no, you can't do that. That's illegal. We will be here, though, streaming during the fight, showing brief legal fair use highlights. And we will be here for the post-fight press conference and a post-fight show. So I have a very, very crazy busy day tomorrow. So time management from here on out between this video now and tomorrow morning is very crucial. I have to get at least 6 hours of sleep to make all this shit work. But I got Devin Haney again. We're going to get my colleague on the phone in about 15 minutes or so. He's going to be at the fight tomorrow night. Tomorrow morning his time, covering the card. Full screen.
Face it off and then have a chat to Devin.
Are we going to get a push? Maybe a choke? No. I'd rather not. We don't need that every fight. But I like this focus, George Kambosos. I can't wait to see what the game plan is going to be. Remember, he's completely broken down his team, or as Devin has said, fired everybody. But also, George has been talking retirement shit too. Oh, be careful! Oh, be careful! Oh, don't be careful, guys! Be careful! Be careful! Be careful! Don't mess it up! Don't mess it up! Don't mess it up! Don't mess it up! Everybody, cool down. Whoa, whoa! Oh no! Oh no! Oh, that's it! Oh, that's it! A brawl is broken out. Oh man. Oh man. See, this is why can't we just all get along? Everything was going good.
Okay. An early start to proceedings. It would seem. We will have a chat to Devin with all.
Give him his juice.
Before you disappear, that'd be fantastic if we could, Devin.
His hydration.
Alberto.
See, I'm all for the bullshit, but I kind of didn't want to see it today, you know.
Fairly subdued up until the last 24 hours, but there has been an obvious increase in intensity over the last 24 hours, given what we saw at the press conference. If we could have everybody sitting down there in the middle of the stage.
Yeah, we'll go back and watch a little bit of the tape.
Down there in the middle of the room so we could bring these pictures around the world via ESPN Plus, of course, in the United States. Sky Sports.
Well, you know what? I'm happy. That don't look like Americans. So at least we got that, America. That ain't us.
I guess you weren't expecting
Know what I'm saying?
things to break out as quickly as they did.
I mean, we got to fight. We're going to get it all tomorrow, and may the best man win.
Are you ready for whatever George Kambosos brings? He's promised a different style. Are you ready for whatever he brings to the ring tomorrow?
Of course.
There is Devin Haney, the dream and the undisputed
But that's what
lightweight
happens.
champion of the world.
That's what happens when fighters be hungry. Like they be real irritable.
Their ring walk will commence at 1:40 p.m.
Look, what the hell's going on there?
Here in Melbourne, Australia, tomorrow as part of that 9-fight card. Things have really ramped up in the last 24 hours, and well, that was quite
Well.
I wasn't expecting that after things were so subdued between these two fighters earlier in the week, Barry.
Warren Smith handled it well, though, I think. Right? He wasn't all bitching.
You like to see these guys show a bit of respect for each other.
Kept control of the
Which I know
show.
they've got, but it certainly nearly got out of hand there, didn't it?
Yeah, a couple of people jumping onto the stage
Ooh.
who had no right to be there. I guess George Kambosos escalated things by trying to put himself in front of Devin Haney. I'm sure that's part of trying to take him out of his comfort zone. It got to
Oh, man. Oh, no, I know what we got to do. I know what we got to do. I know what we got to do. We got to go to main event. We got to go to main event. Hold up. That Facebook page. We're going to watch the rest of it. We're going to watch the rest of it. Don't worry. I got you. Ah, here we are. Ooh, gotcha.
very large humans.
See? You can always count
the man
on
known
me.
as Tank from Haney Promotions and Team Haney. Intense. And maybe that's a sign that for the first time that the Haney camp is just feeling a little bit of the pressure of having to defend all these belts for the very first time.
Well, Warren, it's been a
Well.
totally different psychological game this time, hasn't it? You know, the Cambosos.
No, I got you. I got you.
This from a totally different perspective. And to be honest with you, I've spoken to George, and I mentioned it before about how he's got to fight this fight. And you know, I think there's every chance it's going to be a.
Let me see if I can rewind it back
Something else. There's bad blood.
to the actual incident.
An obvious, almost a different style.
Here it is right here. This is actually what happened here.
Once again, brought to you by the
So fighters are facing off, and you're going to see a little bit of elbow fisticuffs, and then we almost lose control here at the weigh-in. But you know, everything, you know, it got a little dicey, but you know, the fight's still on. Nothing crazy happened. You know, we've been losing fights left and right over the last month, so you know, everything's still going forward. But man, look how sucked in Devin Haney faces. But, you know, here's the footage of what happened at the weigh-in, you know, moments ago. And we're going to have my colleague Big J call in about 10 minutes or so and get his thoughts about what happened. And also, he's talked to Susie, Ramadan, the Maloneys, and Devin Haney and Bill Haney this week. So he's on site covering the event from Melbourne. You can't say Melbourne. Melbourne, Australia. He's going to be there tomorrow night at the event. So this is what happened at the weigh-in.
Victorian government.
Look, now what is this? Now, who is these bandits? Who are these menaces? What's going on here? Where'd they come from? And these little sorry-ass security people, they couldn't do nothing. Like, people see, it's different. Like, if the fighters are doing it, but people shouldn't be running on the stage. It's like, who are you, man? Like, get out of here. You ain't making no money. Don't mess up the money. It's going to be at 10:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN.
An obvious increase in intensity over the last 24 hours, given what we saw at the press conference. If we could have everybody sitting down there in the middle of the stage. If you could please sit down there in the middle.
I'm glad Warren Smith wasn't screaming like a little girl. Sometime when something goes down at a boxing event, you'll have the announcer, "Can everybody just please stop?" And you know, he just kept it cool.
In Australia as well. Devin, I guess you weren't expecting things to break out as quickly as they did.
I mean, we got to fight. We're going to get it on tomorrow. May the best man win.
Are you ready for whatever George Kambosos brings? He's promised a different style. Are you ready for whatever he brings to the ring tomorrow?
Of course.
There is Devin Haney, the dream,
okay,
and the undisputed lightweight champion of the world. Making his way.
They're paying $60 over in Australia for this on pay-per-view. It's in the smaller arena. The arena seats about 13,000 or so. From my understanding, 10,000 tickets plus have been sold. It might even sell out. The biggest question is, what's George Kambosos going to do differently? However, I do like the card. If I was to rate all 4 cards tomorrow, there are 4 cards tomorrow. In about 12 hours or so, actually in about 10 hours or so, you have Liam Paro taking on Brock Jarvis with Sky Nicholson and Dempsey McKean also on the card. You have Savannah Marshall, Clarissa Shields, Michaela Mayer, Alicia Baumgartner. That card's going to be starting at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in the States. We're going to be streaming during both of those main events, both of those fights. Wilder versus Helenius starting at 9 p.m. Eastern, PBC on Fox pay-per-view, opening up with Gary Antonio Russell versus Manny Rodriguez, the Manny Rodriguez that Maloney fought in the World Boxing Super Series. You have Frank Sanchez, heavyweight contender, taking on Carlos Negron. Then you have Caleb Plant, former IBF 168-pound champion, taking on former WBC champion at 168, Anthony the Dog Dirrell. And you have Deontay Wilder taking on Robert Helenius. That's going to be $74.99. And this card right here, Devin Haney and George Kambosos, the rematch, you're going to have Jason Maloney taking on Nawafone Kaikanha. That is a WBC eliminator to be the mandatory for the winner of Naoya Inoue taking on Paul Butler. That's going to be taking place in December. Inoue, if he wins, expected to win, is expected to move up to 122 and not fight at 118 no more, opening up a vacant belt for Jason Maloney to fight for. Adrian Maloney is taking on Norberto Jimenez, also in an eliminator. And then you have Shanika Johnson taking on Susie Q Ramadan for the IBF super bantamweight title. So very, very solid, card. If I was to rate the cards, 1 to 4, I'm going to say Shields versus Marshall easily. But this could be, I think this is number 2 over Wilder Helenius, right? Which card? Okay. Let's say for example, right? If you had to lose, let's raise the stakes. If you had to lose a finger, and you know what they said, listen, you're not leaving this room, unless you lose. Nah, that was a stupid one. That was going to be stupid. Okay, let me just keep it simple. Which card would you rather watch? If you had no choice, Wilder Helenius or Haney Kambosos? Me? I still think I would choose Wilder Helenius. So I would rate tomorrow's card. I would rate tomorrow as the number 1 card of the day is easily by far Shields versus Marshall, right? Number 2 can be tied. See, because you got Wilder Helenius, there's going to be a knockout right there. And you got Caleb Plant, Anthony Dirrell. That's kind of got some intrigue. But you got 4 fights on Haney Kambosos that mean something. It's kind of a career-defining match for George Kambosos. You got 2 fights with the Maloneys, both eliminators. And then you got the female fight between Shanika Johnson and Susie Q. If she loses, that's pretty much the end of the road for her. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. But let me see what Big J's doing. Get him on the line, get his thoughts on what's been going on. And remember, I'm going to be here streaming during this. By the way, yes, Bob Arum is not around. Bob Arum is not, maybe he'll show up tomorrow for the fight. But he's not at this event. And he's not at, oh, hold on. Let's see what Big J had to say. All right, what's going on, man? Can you hear me? Oh, hold on. All right, well, what do you think about the weigh-in?
Yeah, good, real good. Obviously, but besides all those bullshit shenanigans, and where was the security? But you saw the security guys; they weren't very big. That's the problem. The guys that are on the teams are 3 times the size of the security guard by higher.
And normally, when you have such tensions between like two fighters like that, they usually make sure they got like big buff security guards.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was there yesterday, and the security guards, they're all smaller than me, and I'm not that big.
They probably were just arena security. That's what they were, like ushers.
Yeah.
It wasn't even security.
Yeah, well, no, not really. But besides, whoever jumped on stage, yeah, you're a fucking idiot. You didn't need to jump on stage.
Yeah.
But that was people from outside the boxes, and a bit of a push-up, yeah, big deal. But I think George did exactly what he wanted to. He's under Haney's skin now. He rattled him.
You think so?
He's been quiet the entire time. Yes, he's playing the mind games. He's quiet the entire time saying nothing.
Yeah.
And he whispered in Haney's ear, and then Haney shoved him, and then bang, George won that face-off.
Okay,
so George has been playing the long con.
You know, but you've been there during fight week. You was at the press conference. You went to the when they shot the sit down face off early in the week. So what's the feel of fight week? You know, is for one, what's the ticket sales looking like?
Oh well, plus 10,000. I don't think there's too many left.
Okay,
so I think it'll be close to, if not the sellout.
How many are they going to seat? 13,000.
14,200. 14,200.
So, you know, I'm guessing you would guess that it would sell out, right? Pretty much.
Oh, but it'll come pretty close, yeah. If it doesn't, it'll come very close.
Okay. And what about George? I saw you wasn't able to catch him this week, but basically what I've seen from him is he's been pretty much keeping silent, keeping low profile. You know, that's what it's been looking like so far during the week.
Yeah, just waiting in the wings, waiting for his opportune moment. So I think that's the best thing he could have done is just get himself away, come in when he needs to, get in, get out.
Yeah.
You know, don't sit there and do it, because the last time he carried on the first fight was all that stuff he carried on with was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, you know, but here is just all business. So he's acting like exactly the same way or close to the same way when he got Lopez. So he's not. It's just all business.
So what is this? You know, have you heard anything about Cambosos firing his team? Like, what's going on?
No, I didn't know anything about that.
What's your thoughts about that? Yeah, because I mean, this is my first time hearing it myself.
Well, if a change is necessary, maybe it might work off. I mean, it's going to be shown tomorrow whether it's going to be proven a good move or a bad move. So,
but maybe he just went to the roots, you know, to where, you know, he built a big entourage and he just wanted to cut it back, you know.
Well, sometimes the best way to go forward is to go back to where you start. You know, it's a fresh start. Start from where you know. So he has to prove that in the ring. But I think he rattled Haney. Haney looks a little bit. Even Haney's been cool, calm, and collective all week. But yeah, I think George got under his skin there, and that's what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, because it's more any sport's more so a mind game, just as it's a physical game. If your mind's not right, so you know. He's not going to be able to perform. I'm glad that both blokes made weight easy, and there was no bullshit shenanigans like last time. If you remember, Haney was on the scales for like 2 seconds and just pissed off, and then George didn't make weight. So, but they made weight comfortably, the pair of them. Yeah. So
who do you think? You know, like let's just get it out of the way. You know, like who do you think is going to win?
50-50, I don't know. It could go either way now. I really think it's 50-50. I don't see. I mean, obviously Haney's got the technical skills, but if George brings it into a dogfight, because see, George is just not taking any of Haney's. He's not letting Haney bait him. He's just like, yeah, okay, whatever. I don't give a shit. blah, 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 blah. So we'll see what happens. If George tries a box with him, he's going to lose and lose badly. But if he turns it into a dogfight, which Haney's never been into, George could get up. Because George has been in dogfights.
So basically, you say, I mean, how do you think, like, how does he win, in your opinion? Like, how does he win?
Pulls him into a dogfight. Mauls him.
Easier said than done.
That's the only way you can beat a pure boxer. It is easier said than done, but as Lou said, I've been saying for the last 6 months, you've got to walk past that jab of his and then maul him. You know, you've got to take a few jabs to the face, walk past those, and get into him. I mean, there's a boxing match.
You know, he made a lot of jabs that first fight, and I'm thinking, like, you know, hey, listen, I like George, you know, but I'm not seeing from the fact that he lost the first fight off of one punch. I don't know what he can do differently outside of he's going to have to throw caution to the wind and, you know, go out there and just, you know, get his face jabbed off. But I don't see him getting past the jab. And then, you know, it's going to be worse for George Kambosos if Devin Haney starts loading up on that right hand like his father was telling him to do. You know, so me personally, I'm giving George, you know, I'm giving George a 10% chance. And the only way he wins, in my opinion, is he's going to have to go out there and he's going to have to, as you said, maul him, which I don't think he can do, or he's going to have to knock Devin Haney out, which I don't think he can do. Now we've seen he has some power against Teofimo Lopez. You know, something's in there, but I just don't think he has the skill set to put all of that together.
Well, he has to prove it on the day. But yeah, I mean, as I said, if he goes the mauling, I mean, it's 50-50 at best for George. I'm not saying he's going to go in there and kick the shit out of Haney. That would just be stupid. But in my opinion, it's a 50-50 fight at best. He has to prove it in the ring. So, but I think he got under his skin a little bit. And, you know, maybe this has all finally got to Haney. So even though, you know, during the week he's been very professional, you know, not saying anything stupid. He doesn't, you know, get into silly debates or anything like that. But I think George rattled him just then. So...
Well, I've been getting the vibe, you know, from George is that, you know, he might retire. You know, like for some reason, the way he was talking at that first press conference, I'm just thinking that he's collecting the money because he's already saying he's not just going to go and, you know, just be fighting like no-name guys in Australia. For some reason, man, I don't know. You know, I don't think, you know, like, I'm not saying he might retire. Maybe he might have 1 or 2 more fights, but I think this is career defining mentally. You know, like for him, you know, I don't, for some reason, I don't feel he all there. And then if he loses again, and gets dominated, you know, or even stopped this time, you know, it might be difficult for him to mentally recover. I mean, after all, he did already just fire his whole team. So what other changes can you make?
Well, there's plenty. I mean, I disagree with that. I mean, look at Andrew Maloney. He got the worst screw job of all time, and he's still going. Yeah. And he's up for another world title if he wins this one. So, I mean, he's not even 30. So people have got to get past this bullshit mentality that Floyd brought up. If you lose, you're done. Fuck off. Muhammad Ali lost 5 fights. He's the greatest fighter of all time.
Yeah, but some fighters, when they lose, they can't take that shit. They can't take it. You know, they have issues.
Well, yeah, because the problem is that the one thing that the last 25 years that no one's been taught is how to lose. Mm-hmm. You have to learn how to lose. To make you a great, like they always say, to win a premiership, you have to lose one first. So, you know, you have to learn how to deal with loss. And the problem is the last 25 years, no one wants to deal with loss. Everyone has to be a winner. Fucking bullshit. You have to learn how to win. This turns you into a better winner.
So you're saying a 50-50 fight.
Change, but yeah, I'm saying 50-50. No clear advantage either bloke.
Mm-hmm.
No. That's just me.
All right. So let's talk about this undercard. You got Jason Maloney taking on a Navaphone Kai Kanha. Have you learned anything about that fight, and what do you think about it?
Nah, Jason's going to knock that bloke into Footscray. So if that goes past 4 rounds, I'll be very surprised.
Mm-hmm.
So within 4 or 5 round knockout. Yeah, I don't think that's going to go very long at all. Andrews, I think it might be a more of an in-depth fight. Probably late stoppage, might go to distance.
Mm-hmm.
But the Andrew fight's going to be more intriguing than the Jason fight. I think the Jason fight's going to be a little bit one-sided, to be honest with you. So, but you never know. But as you said, you know, these Thai guys, they come along and they either get the shit kicked out of them or they have a go. So, But yeah, I really think Jason shouldn't have too many dramas in that one. But as we keep saying, as I've kept saying the whole time, the one I'm looking forward to the most is the Susie Tanika fight.
Okay. Yeah, and what did you think about that fight? You did get an interview with Tanika and Susie. Both of those are going to be up later on today, this evening. So what did you learn from him this week?
Well, Tanika hasn't really had a proper training camp, nor does she have an actual trainer. I learned that watching another video this week.
So
she hasn't got a proper trainer.
No trainer.
Yeah, she doesn't actually have a solid trainer. If you watch that weigh-in, she only walked out with one guy. So she doesn't, from what I've been hearing, she doesn't have a solid trainer. Her brother has died recently, and she's only had maybe a 6-week training camp because she was off doing some reality TV show a couple of months ago.
Okay, so wait, Tanika Johnson is facing Susie Q Ramadan. They were just put on the card about what, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, about give or take?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I mean,
she's fighting with her brother dying recently, with no trainer, and she hasn't had a training camp.
Well, of a short one, because she was off doing some reality TV show about 8 weeks ago.
I mean, shout out to her for getting the opportunity. I'm guessing, she couldn't turn it down, but that's some crazy circumstances, to go into a big fight like this.
Yeah, it is crazy. So, I mean, you've got to give the advantage with Susie, who's been training the whole time, has got a solid camp, and is far more experienced. I mean, from all the videos and things I've seen, I haven't seen anyone give anyone tipping Tanika. So even though Shanika's a lot bigger, a lot younger, so you saw at the weigh-in, she's a lot bigger than Susie is.
Yes, she is.
So, and she always looks she still looks in great, fantastic shape. You got to give her a due. So I think that's the best I've ever seen her, because I saw her last weigh-in at the Hardman-Zarafa fight, and she looks a bit more in shape this time. So she's obviously been doing something. So
okay.
But yeah, I just think with all those outside factors, advantage Susie.
And the other fights on the undercard, like what other fight is sticking out to you, for the prelims?
Well, I don't really know anyone bar Django Opolu, who's fighting, what's his name? Hemi, I can't remember his last name now.
Hemi Ahea. That's how, that O is, comes off as an A. Hemi Ahea.
Yeah, now Django Opolu fought Justice Hooney for the Australian title in Justice Hooney's debut, and he's also fought Lucas Brown, so he's well known. He's a hard bastard. That one's like a heavyweight fight. It could go either way. One punch, bang. Someone's going to get knocked out. Just don't know who. Probably whoever gets the big shot in first. The other undercard fights. What's that young fella from New Zealand, the cruiserweight? Taking on the Samoan bloke.
Do not know.
You called him the...
Yeah. Oh, David
the guys at Samoan.
Niaka.
Yeah, I think that'll be a decent fight. Because he's been sparring with Tyson Fury, so I think that'll be a decent fight. That. Yeah, but all the others, I probably won't even get in there. I probably won't get there until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. I mean, the card starts 24 hours from now. It's just on 11 o'clock. And the Susie fight will be on first on ESPN Plus or whatever it's on. That's when the main event. So 24 hours it starts, and I'll probably get there hour and a half beforehand. So I probably won't watch much of the prelims to be honest with you. So
okay, and here in the States,
I wish them all good luck. It's a good card.
And here in the States, the main card is going to be starting 2.5 hours from now at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. The prelims are going to be starting at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Here in the States on ESPN Plus, then they go over to regular ESPN here in the States at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. But since we have you here, there's another card taking place in about 8 hours or so, give or take?
Yeah, kick off, let me see, it's 11 o'clock now, kick off 7 o'clock, what's that, 8 hours? Yeah, kick off in about 8 hours.
So, you have Liam Paulo taking on Brock Jarvis. Now, this is Eddie Hearn's first card since losing a significant card last week in Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. This card is taking place over in Australia at the South Bank Piazza in South Brisbane. Now, Brock Jarvis, me and Big J talked about it before. He's about to weigh in right now. In fact, let me turn this weigh-in up, and we're going to watch this in its entirety right now while the fighters are weighing in. Take a time out, like the video, subscribe. T-Street Controversy with Fight View 360.
So, ladies and gentlemen, to jump onto the scales, first of all, this is Brock Jarvis from Cronulla, New South Wales, 20 fights, 18 by way of knockout, yet to taste defeat. This is Brock Jarvis! 63.4 for Jarvis, making the weight of 63.5. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, to jump on to the scales. He is rated number 2 in the world by the WBO. He is the reigning, defending champion of the WBO Global Super Lightweight Division. This is Liam, the Prodigy Paulo! 63.3. So both fighters make weight. Said history down under. We have our main event, undefeated versus undefeated. All Aussie showdown, Queensland versus New South Wales. This will be our main event of the evening. You'll watch it live on DAZN across Australia and the globe. We'll face the two fighters off. Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing presenting a cracking card of action here in River City, Brisbane, ladies and gentlemen. And this is the headline act. Well, this is it, ladies and gentlemen. Matchroom Boxing presents your main event of the evening. Paro versus Jarvis, undefeated versus...
All right, so both fighters made weight. So this is going to be a card that's going to be on the zone between two 140-pound contenders. The only thing is, Brock Jarvis, in my opinion, is a 130-pound fighter fighting at 140 pounds, even though he may look bigger right here at the weigh-in against Liam Paro. Liam Paro is currently ranked number 2 by the WBO at 140, and Teofimo Lopez number 1. Teofimo Lopez is going to be taking on Jose Pedraza on December the 10th up in New York. So the card's going to be Sky Nicholson versus Christina Jacobs, Abdoulaye Mayweather versus Cesar Tapia, Dempsey McKean versus Patrick Corte, and Liam Paro versus Brock Jarvis. This is going to be Eddie Hearn's first card in Australia, exclusive to the zone in Australia. And frankly, what do you think about the card, Big J? Oh, and by the way, boxing fans, this is going to be early in the morning on the zone here in the States for the hardcore boxing fans. But what do you think about this card?
Oh, I said, it's a nice card. It's just very, very poor timing. If they did it a week from now, it would be excellent.
Mm-hmm.
So, as I said, I mean, you've got journalists. Ben Damon will be doing the commentary, and then he's on the plane first thing tomorrow morning to get there. Yeah, he'll be down here in the morning, to get to Haney Cambosos. I think a few journalists that I know are doing that. So, yeah, you got the media running around. You got the audience split. Well, not really split because you can watch one tonight, watch one tomorrow morning. But excuse me, if you moved it back a week to the 22nd, it would have flowed a lot better and would have been a lot more successful. But remains to be seen. But still a good, solid card. As I said, I'm not a huge fan of the Paro Jarvis fight because it's too early, but it's still going to be a good fight. But I don't think these guys need to be fighting each other. I mean, it's lose-lose for Liam. If he beats Jarvis, okay, yeah. Okay, you beat a blown up 130, and if you lose, it's going to be extremely detrimental. So, because he's on the cusp of a world title shot, he's going to have to run into Lopez at some point for the final eliminator. If he loses, he's going to go all the way back to the end of the line. So, but if Brock wins, he takes his spot. But but still, it's going to be an entertaining fight. I'm tipping Paro. I mean, I've seen a lot of people. I think it's about 50-50. Everyone's going, 50% Jarvis, 50% Paro because Jarvis is so much bigger. Jarvis has got Jeff Fennick as a trainer. Jarvis gets there and then mauls people. But if you look at his last few fights, he fought a Mexican journeyman, almost got his head kicked in. Before that, he fought a blown-up bantamweight champion in what was the fella's name? Can't remember his name.
Rodriguez.
He fought sorry?
What, you talking about Alejandro Rodriguez?
No, I think it was a bloke before that. He fought in Australia. It was in Canberra.
Beauchamp? I don't know how to pronounce his name.
No, it was another. It was anyway. That guy was actually, he was a weight drained. He was coming down to that weight to meet Brock, and then the fight before that, the guy was actually the Australian bantamweight champion coming up. I think 2 weights to featherweight.
Okay.
So he's, Brock has been fighting either blown up guys blowing up or guys cutting down. So.
And now he's fighting a true 140 pounder.
He's fighting a true 140 pounder. I mean, yeah, he showed a lot of resistance in the last fight against the Mexican fella. Yeah, he came back. He won the fight by knockout in 4 rounds. Fantastic. I mean, you can't question his guts and determination and all that sort of stuff. But he got caught. And against Liam, I think if Liam belts him one, it could be. I think Liam's just going to get him. I mean, a few people are calling late stoppage for Brock, but he's never fought at this weight.
Yeah.
So, he's never fought at this weight, and he's fighting a pure 140er. So I'd have to give all the advantage to Liam Parra, to be honest with you. So.
Well, so I mean, as far as the card, how would you rate the card from an A to F? Overall.
Oh shit! For Australian, for what Eddie's got, it's easily a B+ card. Easy. It's a great card.
No, but you're talking about for Australian boxing, not globally. Not for boxing as a whole, but for an Australian boxing card.
Oh, Australian boxing card, yeah, B+, easy. For the talent, Eddie's using the best talent he's got, and there's nothing wrong with that. The only thing that would make the card better would be Ebony versus Shannon, but that's not going to happen.
That should have been on there. But we already talked about that, the timing and the purse bid. Shannon not wanting to fight, and I mean not Shannon, Ebony not wanting to fight. So we already went through that. But listen.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be here. Well, we're going to be here in the morning covering this card, and then you're going to be at Haney Kambosos. Closing thoughts on both of the cards.
Damn right. Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to both. Obviously, it's a great opportunity again for us at 5 360 to actually get to a fight. All the people need to be thanked. They know who they are. Lou DeBella, Evan Korn. All those people who helped us out. Nick Noonan. So thanks to all those guys for getting us there. And, it's just another great – at the end of the day, Australian boxing wins. So, you got to look at the positives. Yeah, the timing's a little poor from Eddie's side, but shit happens. So at least we're getting 2 great cards in the weekend. So you got to be happy about that.
Yeah. All right. Big J will be talking to you tomorrow. All right.
One more thing before I go. Kangaroos are marsupials. You need to learn that. They're not fucking rodents. I don't know where you got that from.
Yeah, all right, I got you.
Kangaroos are marsupials.
Yeah, and I'm surprised I didn't know that type of shit.
Do some research.
But all right, I got you. Thanks, man.
No worries, man.
I still would eat a kangaroo though, for real. But I am going to I'm going to take a walk with my dog. Do some breakfast prep. Edit a few videos. I'm gonna watch the new Halloween Ends on the Peacock app, and I'm gonna plan out all my tags, get my little pre-thumbnail templates. It's gonna be a busy day tomorrow. We're gonna be streaming during Clarissa Shields, Savannah Marshall, and Michaela Mayer, Alicia Baumgartner, and the main event of Wilder Helenius and Haney versus Kambosos. So we're gonna be doing a lot. So I need to get I need 6 hours of sleep, a nice breakfast, and get my walks. Follow Big J at Old Mate Big J on Twitter. Just Old Mate Big J. Just the letter J. OLDMATE BIG J. My bad. Had a little bit of a brain fart. But let me get up out of here, man. I'm T Street Controversy with 5U 360. I will be seeing you guys tomorrow morning for the Power versus Jarvis card. Then I'm going to be covering boxing all day. So just check in on the channel. You'll see me here, by the end of the night, probably 11 p.m., midnight. I'm probably going to be completely untethered, cussing up a storm. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at T Street Controversy.